When a world leader travels, it usually signals diplomacy, power, or global influence. Cameras roll, schedules are published, and journalists track every move. But when Kim Jong-un, the supreme leader of North Korea, travels, even a few kilometers, it becomes one of the most secretive operations on Earth. His movements are so tightly controlled that entire cities can be shut down, railways inspected inch by inch, and foreign governments kept in the dark until the trip is already over. To understand how Kim Jong-un travels is to understand how fear, power, and survival define the North Korean regime. This is not just about transportation, it's about control. A dictator who barely moves. Unlike most heads of state, Kim Jong-un rarely leaves his country. For years after taking power in 2011, he did not travel abroad at all. This raised questions among analysts. Was he inexperienced, afraid, or simply uninterested in diplomacy? The answer is far more complex. For the Kim dynasty, travel has always been dangerous. Kim Jong-un's grandfather, Kim Il-sung, narrowly avoided assassination multiple times. His father, Kim Jong-il, reportedly developed a lifelong fear of flying after learning about past aviation incidents involving senior officials. That fear became policy. By the time Kim Jong-un inherited power, North Korea had already built an entire security doctrine around the idea that movement equals vulnerability. Leaving home territory, trusting foreign infrastructure, or entering uncontrolled airspace is considered a direct threat to the regime. So when Kim travels, the country moves with him. The armored train, a rolling palace on rails. Kim Jong-un's most famous method of travel is his armored train, a heavily fortified rail convoy that looks more like a moving fortress than transportation. This train is legendary. What's inside the train? The train reportedly includes bulletproof steel-plated cars, reinforced blast-resistant walls, satellite communication systems, command and control rooms, sleeping quarters, dining cars, security personnel compartments. It is believed that multiple trains often operate together. 1. An advanced train to inspect tracks. 2. Kim's personal train. 3. A support train carrying security, staff, and equipment. The train moves slowly, usually under 60 kilometers per hour, 37 miles per hour, so that security teams can monitor every second of the route. Before it passes, entire rail lines are shut down, inspected for explosives, and guarded by armed forces. Snipers are positioned. Roads near the tracks are cleared. Signals are monitored. Nothing is left to chance. This train has carried Kim Jong-un to China, Russia, and domestic locations across North Korea. While it may take days to reach a destination that a plane could reach in hours, time is less important than control. Why Kim distrusts flying? In the modern world, air travel is considered the safest and fastest way to move ahead of state. For Kim Jong-un, it's the opposite. Flying requires foreign airspace permission, trust in international air traffic control, reliance on aircraft manufacturers, exposure to tracking systems. To Kim, that's unacceptable. When he does fly, it is extremely rare and highly controlled. His most publicized flight was in 2018, when he traveled to Singapore for a historic summit with US President Donald Trump. Even then, nothing was normal. The plane he trusts, and why it's old. Kim Jong-un flew on an aging Soviet-era aircraft known as the Ilyushin Il-62, nicknamed Chamai-1. The plane is decades old and would look outdated by modern standards, but that's exactly why Kim prefers it. Why? North Korea controls every bolt and wire. No foreign maintenance crews, no modern tracking technology. A fully loyal flight crew. The aircraft is maintained by hand-picked engineers, monitored constantly, and flown only on special occasions. Sometimes, backup aircraft and decoy flights are deployed simultaneously to confuse observers. In some trips, cargo planes are sent ahead carrying armored vehicles, medical equipment, security teams, food and water supplies, Kim never eats food he does not fully control. Motorcades that look like military operations. When Kim Jong-un travels by road, the scene resembles a battlefield deployment. His motorcade can include multiple identical black limousines, decoys, dozens of SUVs and armored vehicles, ambulances with doctors on standby, advance teams sweeping routes, rear security units blocking access. One of the most striking sights is Kim's jogging bodyguards, elite officers trained to run alongside his vehicle, scanning rooftops and crowds. Their job is to physically block bullets if necessary. Routes are often chosen minutes before departure. Roads are shut down without explanation. Absolute control over food, health, and even waste. Kim Jong-un's paranoia extends far beyond weapons. When he travels, he often brings personal chefs, custom food supplies, medical teams, specialized equipment. This is done to prevent poisoning surveillance, biological data collection. There are persistent reports that Kim's team even controls his waste, ensuring no biological material is left behind that could be analyzed by foreign intelligence agencies. While this may sound extreme, it reflects a worldview shaped by constant threat perception. In Kim's reality, even a meal can be dangerous. Decoys, disappearances, and misinformation. One of the most effective tools in Kim Jong-un's travel strategy is misdirection. His movements are often hidden not only from foreign governments, but from his own officials. Common tactics include decoy trains, fake motorcades, conflicting state media reports, delayed confirmations. Sometimes, North Korean media only announces a trip after Kim has already returned. Other times, they release footage days later, making it impossible to determine when or where he actually was. This secrecy fuels speculation when Kim disappears from public view. But these absences are often intentional, designed to confuse enemies and maintain unpredictability. The risk of leaving North Korea. For Kim Jong-un, travel is not just a personal risk, it's a political one. If something were to happen to him abroad, power struggles could erupt, the regime could destabilize. Military escalation could follow. North Korea's system revolves around one man. Removing him suddenly could trigger chaos. That's why Kim's international trips are rare and carefully chosen. Countries like China and Russia are considered safer due to political alignment. Neutral locations are preferred over Western capitals. Even during summits, Kim limits exposure. Meetings are brief. Locations are tightly controlled. His presence is carefully staged. Travel as a tool of power. Kim Jong-un's travel methods are not just about protection. They are about image, the armored train, the massive motorcades, the visible security. All of it reinforces the idea that the leader is extremely important, constantly targeted, worth extraordinary protection. Inside North Korea, this feeds propaganda. Outside, it sends a message. This is a man who cannot be touched easily. In many ways, how Kim travels is how he rules, through fear, control, and isolation. Final reflection. To the outside world, Kim Jong-un's travel habits may seem excessive, even irrational. But within the logic of North Korea's system, they are perfectly rational. Every movement is a risk. Every journey is a potential threat. Every decision is about survival. In a regime built on absolute power, even something as simple as travel becomes a high-stakes operation. And that's what makes Kim Jong-un's journeys so fascinating and so revealing. For rare footage, hidden security details, and the full visual breakdown of Kim Jong-un's secretive travels, watch the full video now.